Morning, folks. Morning. 15 minutes until the open. Friday morning, last day of the week. Can we make it through the most insane week I've ever seen in the markets? In all my years of doing this, this is without a doubt the most insane week I've ever seen. If you're making it through this week, you're doing very, very well. It doesn't matter if you're red, if you're green, if you're flat, as long as you're making it through and you're not blowing up and doing major damage, you're doing very, very well. Chances are you're either going to see people posting massive gains right now, or maybe not posting their massive losses. All right, I'm small green on the week. Actually had a pretty good day yesterday in the end, just scalping my way through this week. But not having some huge big swings in my P&L. All right, I am risk off in this market, as in I am sized way down. I'm trying to be very careful when I take a trade. I'm still looking for those trades where I can tighten up my risk, because this is wild, right? We are in 1,000-point range right now, and I'm going to show you how and why, and we're going to go over the chart. So as ever, start off your day, go through your checklist, right? Are you feeling fit and able to trade mentally and physically? Drunk enough, eaten enough, slept enough, all those things. For me, I haven't. I can tell you right now, I've had the worst week's sleep ever, probably because I'm stressed about these markets. It's keeping me up at night. The thought of trying to keep my room safe, all right, it is definitely keeping me up at night. The last thing I want is any of my students getting stuck in this market, especially the newer students who are joining right now, coming into volatility where the VIX is like holding gains of 40 all the way up to 60. It's scary for me trying to teach students in this market. It is not normal. So let's get into it. Starting off on the daily chart, as we always do. All right, what do we have on our daily? We still have an inside bar. All right, let's think about the extremes of the week now. Right now, there's Monday, there's Tuesday. Think about that. People who are, trade with me, think about what these are. All right, in terms of weekly model. Weekly model is playing out. This is our swing low. It is possible that they try and force this to become a higher low on the daily. How does this get confirmed as a higher low? We'd need a break of structure, wouldn't we? We'd need to take out the highs and bid up. So far, we've failed to do that. Overnight, because yesterday was the possible creation of a higher low. Now, you would have liked to have seen them put this higher low in a bit further, rather than come all the way down to 7% and miraculously save the market at 7%. Right? We should have technically gone into a halt down yesterday, folks. But miraculously, they had a 2-minute period to save the market. SPX didn't follow it, and they saved it. So funny that. Talk about market games and manipulation. There you go. There's one for you there. So right now, this is our bar dictating the inside volume. All right. This is from 16,600 all the way up to 19,400. All right. Basically 3,000 points. And inside that, the range we created yesterday, we have this double top high. So we know shorts have their stops up there, up at around 19,400, all the way down to 17,950. So let's just call it 18,000 so I can do the math. So 1,400 point range right here for an inside bar. This is why I'm scared right now. All right, that is massive, absolutely massive. When we print these inside bars that hold, what does it have the chance to do? It has the chance to allow the daily to break out, all right? Because this can be your high or low for the flag, for the break on the daily. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they have the ability to set. If we zoom out though, higher time frame, what are we doing? Leg 1, inside, leg 2. This is just retested. This, what's this? SBR. So far, we're finding sellers there. In theory, daily's looking for continuation. But what's the problem? Where did we find bids? Right here. And this is an RBS on a daily and weekly. So we're stuck right now between daily and weekly support and daily resistance. R here, S here, battleground here, which is why you are seeing this. Okay, now normally this would take place over maybe a 100 or 200 point range, not a 3,400 point range. All right, to give you some context, this move here, this green candle here, is usually the size of your gains in a year in the NQ. To make you understand that, that move was 11%. Your average return on the year is 8 to 11% when you're playing these. All right, so these are extremely exaggerated moves. You have to understand that right now. This is not normal. It really is not normal. We know we're building liquidity because we have an inside bar. We also know we're building liquidity because we have the 5-day and the 20-day. All right, mean reversion was complete from outside the Bollinger to the 20-day. Back to the 5-day. We might do this until one side is sufficiently trapped. And then maybe we have some news event like, hey, we've done a deal with China. Hey, we're not doing a deal with China. Tariffs are back on. All right. So we're going to build until it proves otherwise. We're going to get some more clues as we dial down into the lower time frame. So moving into the hourly chart now. Focus on this chart here with me first. We can see, all right, let's just go over this. Here was the tariff pause squeeze. All right, big drive up. Finding resistance. Where did it find resistance? Like we talked about. Here's your big block. All right, here's your big block. Found resistance. Once we finish that squeeze, what do we expect? We expect a pullback and then a retest of that high. All right, we expect this pullback and a retest of this high. This pullback technically should have been trying to hold sort of the 300s. It didn't. All right, buyers probably tried there and got washed out and almost got limit down. Very, very scary stuff. Right now, it's got a few options. This either becomes that flag to go and retest that high and have an attempt, or this is what's scary right now because we're inside. This is a giant bear flag and we get stuck under here and break down. So those are the opportunities, maybe today, maybe next week. It doesn't have to do it today. This level here that it held yesterday is key. If we get stuck under that and retest it, this is a short all day long down to these lows. Right, because that means that's confirming bulls are stuck here. We save that 7%. We get under this today. If we hold this as resistance, all these bulls become supply, and we're going to go back towards those lows. If we're able to keep building a bid here, all right, the chop zone really is in these Asia levels. You see these orange boxes. This is Asia levels. There's your Asia low. There's your Asia high. This is like a key pivot it's holding. We can chop between this. Again, this is massive. This is what, 300-400 points. We can chop between 18,000 and 18,700, 18,800. That's 800 points, right? This is the size of the chop range. You have to be careful in here. This is where it's building liquidity, either for this move or for this move. So where does sentiment change? Where does it become easy for us? If you're a range trader, if you like trading range, these are your ranges. You can trade in between here right now. You can trade the edge as a buy, and this is a sell. A buy and a sell, if that's what you like. Welcome to do that. It's not my cup of tea, but it's available there. That is a legitimate setup while we're setting this up. If we get a breakout above this Asia high, all right, if we trade sideways and we get above and we break out and hold, this has squeeze potential to go back upside. Absolutely does. So I'd say a key hold of sort of 18,800, breakout above that and hold, has the potential for a squeeze upside. What else does it have the potential for? A failed breakout. All right. If we sweep that Asia high and we come back inside and we get stuck, this is your failed breakout. And we expect rotation back down to key levels again. Same said for the other side of this. All right. You could put a trend line on here if you want. We've literally just broken it and we're just trying to trade inside. If it fails under here and gets stuck here, we probably test next level. If it fails here and gets stuck here, we probably test next level. If it fails here, this is a bigger move down. All right, because this is key from yesterday. That was the 7% halt band that they miraculously saved. If they get under here, this is available. Again, failed breakouts are available. Can be this under here, back inside range. Can just do this one, back inside range. This is very, very possible right now. All these things are possible. Why are they possible? Because like we talked about on the daily, we're printing an inside bar. And we are going to open up Very, very flat on the day. I'm going to show you more in detail. This here is a 30-minute chart. Again, normally I have this set to a 5-minute, but because of the range, I'm using a TPO and using a 30-minute just to show you what's going on, because it's going to make your life easier to understand. Here was the reversal day. Thin single prints here. Remember, each of these single prints represents 30 minutes of time, and we rip up. We open up the next day. We're gapping down. Gap's been left open. Remember, this is just showing you regular trading hours, not extended. And here, right, this kind of day, when we see volume and time built like this, that's what they consider fair value. I don't consider this fair value right now. What I consider this is traders trapped. Right? Normally when you see this kind of profile is fair value. This kind of profile saying reversal upside. This is a double distribution. This is considered fair value, very much like that, because we've got like a bell curve like this. Right, there's your point of control. There's your value area low. There's your value area high. This is the range where it will chop between. All right, that's why they consider it fair value. If we get above this level, like we said, 18,800, and we hold value area high, it can potentially squeeze up, fill this gap, come back up to these old highs. If we get stuck underneath this, I'd say be very careful, because that's not huge excess. But if we get underneath this, there is the chance to roll down into this pool and then see what's what down there. You can see, though, we're going to open up inside yesterday's value area high, value area low. So 18,250 up to 18,700, 18,800. And you can see right now we're printing 18,400, which is basically point of control. All right, this was chopped yesterday. This will be chopped today until they prove otherwise. All right, so you've got to be careful. And it's not 40, 50 points chop. I know you're going to be like, Alex, shut up, you're broken record. It's 400, 500, 800, 1,000 points of chop. Do not get caught offside. These are not easy market conditions. I'm going to keep repeating myself. Moving into the lower time frame chart, so you can see this. All right, this is yesterday's key pivot low. This was the 7% down move. Wang. Caught it, go back upside, then chop. That's all we've done since. This here, chop fest. All right. This for me is kind of a leave alone. If I'm feeling very brave, I'll trade the edges. Unless it really proves itself to me and it's like, hey, we're going lower and lower and lower. Or, hey, we've trapped enough shorts down here. I'm going to squeeze them out on a Friday. Find that unlikely, but it's possible. It's absolutely possible. One thing I want to talk about is how tight this range is based on sentiment. All right, we don't often talk about this because this is a bit of a rarity. But right here, you have the lower time frame algo. Then you have the deep pullback flow zones. Then you have VWAP. Then you have previous day close. Then you have point of control. Then you have Momo flow zones. And then you have higher time frame algorithm, all packed in right here. Now, I know this looks big because it's 150 points, but given the size of the range, that's very, very tight, all right? That means you've got multiple time frame traders right now battling it out. They are battling it out to dictate what we do next, all right? Because you're not in alignment. The daily has the chance to put in that higher low for a flag to the upside, but it's also failing on the rejection that we put in yesterday and the day before of the SBR level. The H1 has the ability to do a bear flag to move to the downside, which is the opposite of what the daily's trying to do. So you've got different time frame traders right now with different ideas battling. When's the best and easiest trade? When they all want to do the same thing. Just remember that, when they all want to do the same thing. I'm not going to go through the MAG today. MAG's pretty much opening up flat. All right, MAG's opening up flat. VIX right now, your key levels on VIX today. I would say PDC, sub 40, we might get a bigger wash. And that will allow relief on the market. Right now, we've just tested top end of supply into 45s. If we get through 45s, we can send it to 47s. If we get through 47s, we're going 52s. We get through 52s, we're going 55s. We get through 55s, we're going to 60. Right? Normally, but between now and Monday, you would see some relief on the market just based on the VIX. But again, we're not in normal markets. So I'm kind of throwing all data. All right, all data's gone out the window for me because I don't believe we're in a normal market right now. So you've got the game plan. Here we go, market about to open. I'm not in a rush to take a trade at the open today. Let's get through some good mornings. Good morning, Clint. Good morning, Marek. Thank you so much. Marek with the super chat, paying for my coffee and sandwich as he always does on a Friday. Thank you so much, my friend, saying thanks, Alex, for this week. You're welcome. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Miguel, Coop, Jeff, Aaron, Christy, Ramus, Jake and Up One, Ryan, TR, Chris Thorne, Thumper, Caladin, Peter, Vince, Trentry, Leron, Willa Williams, Aga, Mindful Matters, JD, Florida Man, Array, Eva, Raphael, Peter Curry, Aaron Sharma, Fam Tab, Amolabi, Kaladin, Brad, Jake Up One, Exister, Mike, Brandon, Mr. Slim, Trentry, Minix, Miguel, AJ, Indicator, Michael Pope, BU, Govindi, Jesse M, Jeffrey, Cat, Calypso, good to see you back, Calypso, and Greg M. Good morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. So opening up, like we said, flat. We're opening up on PDC. We're opening up on VWAP. We're opening up very, very close to everything. What do we expect when we have that? Chop. All right, when we open up close to VWAP, we expect chop. When we open up inside range, we expect chop. Do not give your weekly gains back. Or even if you're flat on the week or you're down on the week, but it's manageable, do not make it worse on a Friday. It's the worst day to have a bad day. All right. We had bank earnings this morning. Bank earnings were pretty good, but no one cares right now because everyone's eye is on these tariffs. We also had PPI, which also came in cool. But again, no one cares because that PPI print, the data collected, very much like CPI yesterday, was pre-tariff. So everyone just shaking it off. All that people care about right now is the tariffs and mainly China. All right, mainly China. That's what we're looking at. Mixed bag in the Mag 7. First time I've said that in a while. Tesla up 1/3%, Nvidia up 1.16%, Meta down 1.85%, Google up 0.5%, Amazon down over 0.5%, Microsoft might go green to red here, just about holding on to green, and Apple, the weak one with Meta, 1.38% down in this market. All right, so we're coming down towards these lows right now. That's what it's looking like it might potentially want to trade down towards, but again, very, very choppy conditions here this morning. Sentiment is not clear. We are inside bars, and that's what I expect. I expect chop until it proves otherwise and absolutely nothing else. That's all I'm expecting in this market. Maybe we see what we do if and when we take out some of these levels down here. But other than that, there's not a lot that I'm loving today. I said to the team, I'd be very careful today. Very, very, very careful. Drifting lower here. Maybe we go and take out those Asia lows. Possible scalp down towards that. Available if you want it. ES already coming down towards it. So you're watching that first level of Asia low in the ES, 5,256s. That for us is the bottom of this orange box. Let's just make sure we've got this correctly done. Down towards this here. All right, if we get through that, we're going to trade down to the next Asia pivot, or Globex pivot, I should say. Plan for today is to trade the edges until it proves otherwise. All right, we're in chop. Plan for today is to be very light, be very nimble, trade the edges until it proves otherwise. I will be waiting for that initial balance. I'll be waiting to see what this H1 bar does. We are in very, very choppy conditions. But we have tried numerous times to backtest and we're starting to fail. But we're stuck between very, very big key levels right here. All right, where we saved that 7% yesterday, key level. Really, you're looking at those old daily highs, which is where we are right now, in and around 300s. If we hold 300s, it might rotate back upside towards 700 and 800. If we get above 800, we're either thinking breakout or fail breakout. Hopefully, you're all, at least safe on the week. All that really matters right now is you're safe on the week. It doesn't matter if you've taken some red days. We went over it in Discord. All right, Coop very kindly and honestly sharing his trading week, which is green. It's small green, but it's green. Some wins and some losses, and that's how the market is. But right now, we're in survival mode. We get back into pro trend mode. We get back into a condition where we're not having 680-point M1 candles, then I'll be risk on again. But until that point, I'm going to tread very carefully. My job is to survive. I want to be trading next Monday. I want to be trading next year. I want to be trading in 10 years. I do not want to give away my first quarter profits because Trump starts running his mouth again. And that is the fear right now. You're seeing whiplashes in the market because we cannot price everything in because we don't know what he's going to say. We had the fake news on Monday. Fake news, which was real news, wasn't it? We ripped up, we gave it all back. Then China, whether you believe it or not, I think Asia and China forced our hand with the bonds and the treasury auction. Then he did that cut, or pause, I should say. Then he said he was charging China 105% tariff, then 125% tariff. Then yesterday in the White House, they say he got his numbers wrong and it was 145% tariff. So very hard to price in right now because we're not getting honest answers. BlackRock CEO, we're very close, if not in a recession. Yeah, I mean, everyone can see that. I've been saying that since September last year. Debt's at all-time high. People cannot pay off their debt. Inflation is still sticky, is still higher. This is only going to add to it. We have consumer sentiment, by the way, coming at 10 o'clock as well. I forgot that. Yeah, even Peter saying, I only traded a couple days this week, accounts in the green, but small profit. So that's all that matters. We are in survival mode. All right. Everyone will look at the candles and go, look how much money I could have made. That is a 1,000-point move. Yeah, I look at it and go, look how much money I could have lost there if I got that wrong. That's what goes through my head. A size down, be careful. If you want to push buttons, push them on sim or push it on some evals that you're not too precious about. Do not be smashing buttons on PAs that you've been working hard on for a number of days, weeks, months, or even years. All right, do not be doing that. VIX approaching that 45 now. If VIX breaks out of this 45, it's going to go straight up to 48. The big levels here in the market. We're currently trading underneath VWAP. Alex has already forgotten to put on New York openers, and he shout at me, team, whenever I do that. Shout at me, be like, you absolute numpty. You've got to put on the New York Open. You always forget it. What is wrong with you? This is why I can't wait for the new indicator to be available for everyone. I won't have to do this all the time. Sure, that's the right bar. Yeah. Right, so you can see, even by our standards, recently, we've only got 128 point rate. This is only 128 points. How wild is that, folks? That looks like 5-point range. That's 128 point range there. It looks like nothing. Exister sitting at 1K in accounts for the week. I'm not pushing it at all. Just did a one and done for the day. Wow. Yeah, exactly. 10 a.m. news. Like we said, consumer sentiment coming at 10 o'clock. Quite right. And consumer sentiment does tend to shake out the market. I don't think there's too many market participants in this right now. Like we said, holding Globex for now. Well, it's just a pivot in Globex. Globex low is actually down here, but holding a pivot in Globex right now. You can see how nasty this has been overnight. Let's zoom out a little bit here. So we sold off during the early part of Asia, found support right where we found the bid yesterday. We go right back up. We take out these swings, come into here, and we find sells, and we go right back down, find support. That's probably like a 61 or something. Yeah, into golden zone. And we drive right back up. That's probably a 61 swing back to the upside. Yeah, golden zone upside. And then we drift right back down. So this is what you call trappy action. This is burning stops, right? We burn these lot. Then we burn these lot. Then we burn these lot. Then we burn these lot. You get the point, right? This is what it's trying to do. How much liquidity can we build and how many people can we upset? Not me. You're not going to catch me today. I'd rather sit in my hands than trade this shite. I'll tell you that much. No chance I'm trading 400 points of whiplash. No flipping way, mate. Everyone else can blow up their accounts. There's no way I'm risking my PAs on this. This is going to have to absolutely tell me, hey, we're going for a breakout or I'm doing a failed breakout. Zero interest in trading 400 to 1,000 point slop. Absolute slop. Back into VWAP, reclaiming New York right now, reclaiming point of control right now. Again, this doesn't look like much, does it? But just a casual move there from 373. We're going to go all the way up to mid 500s. Who has got the account size to be handling that? I don't reckon many. I don't even reckon many of the banks. I reckon the banks are getting absolutely wrecked right now. They got margin called on the way down. They bid it back up. They probably got greedy. They probably got margin called yesterday again at 7%. They went all in and saved the 7%. What happens if we sell off again? It is wild, 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 wild. So yeah, let's see what we do. If we can get outside of Globex, I'll be interested in something. If you're not willing to sit and watch this and sit on your hands, I suggest you set some price alerts and go and do something else. If you're not into watching or having a chat with me today, I will not be offended. If you are thinking, hey, I need to get away from this screen, this is very dangerous. If you don't have the self-control, do not take trades and get away from the screen. Do not sit here. This is not a market for people who do not have self-control. You either learn to be patient in this market or it's going to punish you. I'm really sorry to say that. It might sound nasty, but it's just how it is. Do not learn the hard lessons. Make your life easy. BU, I had a great trade in Asia, so I'm paper trading today. There you go, BU. Another green day for you. Love it. Absolutely love it. Way to come back. Way to come back. That pop just got sold into, that rather large pop. How big was that M1 candle? From 375 to 536, 150 odd points. And they just sold right back into it. Got to view up and caught a sell. Still protecting all these key levels. We are still trading inside. Right at yesterday's POC. Right inside value area high, value area low. We're inside absolutely everything right now, and I hate inside action. Book still pretty thin as well. There's a seller up at 18,600. Only a 60 lot. I was going to say, like, you lot are brave trading Asia and London. 'Cause when I give you, my thoughts on it last night, I actually put Bookmap on for about 2-3 minutes to have a look. There was no one at home, and I was thinking, how is this even moving? No one's there. It's crazy. So you can see top right of the corner, higher time frame in liquidity building conditions. Lower time frame trying to be bullish. It's not bullish yet, but it's trying to market as bullish if it gets over the flow zones. But technically, we're just in slop and chop. That's all it is. I'm going to grab a refill on my coffee. Nothing really happening here, and I'll be back. Won't be long. All right, here we go. Yeah, same Peter. Refill of the coffee. I do have some good news though. Some of you will know yesterday, as I said, Ninja, my indicator for Ninja, it's more than an indicator, it does so much, but it got approved. So I've given it to my good friend, my right-hand man, Coop. He's playing with it right now, and it will be available exclusively to start with at discount next week for those who have done the course and in the Discord. I will sort out a way of you guys getting it, and then after that, I'll make it available for everyone else. But got to look after those who have done the course first. They get priority always. So, and then after that, it will be available for everyone else. Exister, love you guys, but actually, I actually get my funding source work done. Have a great weekend. Now, off to real work. Have a good day, Exister. So here we go. Market now, 218 points range already this morning. 15 minutes in. Take care, Lee Kim. Lee Kim, have a good weekend. All right, trying to reclaim VWAPs here. Again, very, very flat. We're still boxed in. Look left. All right, all we are is boxed in right now. There was your wash down. There was a reclaim up. Here we got stuck. There's your micro head and shoulders. There's the break. Back to an area we found bids. There's the washout. There's the breakdown again. Here's back to where we found supply again. Maybe they come back down here and do this. Maybe they come back down here and do this. It can do whatever it wants. Without me, I don't like it when we're doing this on the flow zones. I like it this. This is nice. When we reclaim lower time frame, higher time frame, this is a nice move. These are nice moves. Even earlier, this was a nice break yesterday, which I missed. But yeah, I'm not going to trade backwards and forwards while it makes its decision. Learn some patience, folks. We talk about it. Be a sniper in the market. Learn some patience. Seller here, 18,664 lot. I mean, this size is pathetic as well. Like, how are we moving? It's got to be stops getting run when we're doing 5,000 odd orders a minute and there's no one on the book. It's just telling me, like, I can't believe these are all marketing in and they don't even look like they're hitting the bid. Watching book map because the bubbles are very, very small. So I think these are just stops getting run each side over and over and over again. That's my gut feeling in the market right now. That's why everything's so exaggerated. As a reminder, you got, I think, is it 1 week or 3 days left? Is this the 18th? 18th, all right, you got a bit longer than I thought. I always get that wrong. 1 week left to get Traderify at 30% off all the accounts and 40% off if you're a new user. I doubt you get a better deal than that for the rest of the year. Take Profit still on sale as well. 30% off for life. No activation fee. Code FlowZone for Take Profit. Code FZT for Traderify and absolutely everything else. All right. So range expanded now in this initial balance in this morning session all the way up to 275 points. We're going to test the top of this trend line. This goes way back now. Coming into this sort of area. Remember, if we get above this, there is a potential squeeze. If we do this, there's a potential wash. Not interested in here. I'm waiting for each side, or ideally each side of this. All right, above this, either this or a fail. That's what I'd like. If we can't get up there, then I can't get a trade, and that's also all right. VIX finding fails there in front of 45, so it had a few attempts all the way back down to midpoint of its range. Morning, Sloth. Waiting to see how we act if we get up to 18. Let's just call it 18,800. Just a casual 200 points higher. Come on, folks. Almost 100 of you on stream so far. Not hit that like button. Do me a favor. Smash that like button for me. We will get a trade. I'm sure we'll get a trade here at some point today. I'm going to be very, very careful. My job is to keep you lot safe. It is not to get you in and out of trades which are high risk. Like I said, if you are a trader who likes playing the edges, this market might be great for you. Not for me. Not for me. I had that one attempt, just 1 or 2 attempts yesterday, I think, on stream playing the edges. A couple of like small wins. I never got to my target, so they always came back and knocked me out, and that's all right. That's just the market we're in. It's also not my strong point. Most of the mag going green now. All right, Tesla 1% up, Nvidia 2.5% up, Google just under 2% up, Amazon 0.5% up, Microsoft 1.11% up, Apple just over 0.5% up, Meta 0.19% down. Everyone's going to be waiting for this print at 10 o'clock. Consumer sentiment. I cannot imagine how consumer sentiment is going to be good, but, you know, maybe when they collected the data it was. But who is feeling positive right now? Like they've got money in the bank. to spend on stuff. I cannot imagine it's going to be good. But, you know, CPI was cool. PPI was cool. Maybe consumer sentiment comes out good. What they do with that news, I do not know. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Not looking for anything until 10 o'clock. Waiting for that 10 o'clock. I need one more. The other thing is I'm one day away from another payout on Apex. So I need one more green day. I want it to be a high probability day. I do not want to force my way in. I'm short on those on a few accounts at the moment. But it's I think 10 or 11 accounts on my day away. So I'd like to get that done, but I'm not going to force my way in to do it today. No bank made coup. Flat. Just waiting. I must get up really early. Yeah. I'm not sleeping this week. Normally I'm up at 5:30. This week I've been up 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You can probably see it. I'm absolutely burnt out and exhausted. Like I said in Discord, this market is keeping me awake at night at the moment. Not because I'm trading it. I'm genuinely worried about you lot in my Discord at the moment. I'm really, really worried about the size of this market. I want to keep you safe. This is unusual times. I do not want any of you lot getting stuck. That's all I really care about. I do not care about anything else other than well, that's not fair. I do care about lots of things, but I really care about my students. I really care about my students. Raphael, early on I used to blow through a lot. Especially on Apex. So I used to just swing for the fences a bit early on, probably. Especially when I first transitioned over. Now, barely ever. The only times I'll blow accounts now is if I'm in like a hurry to pass them because I can't be bothered. But I won't be blowing PAs. But sometimes I'm like, you know, if I'm going to take a news event to try and get a bunch of them passed quickly. But I haven't needed to do that for a long time. Aaron, we will do a flow zone meetup. But yeah, I don't like to spend lots of time on evals. I don't teach my students that way because it's the wrong way to do it. But you know, it's the nice thing about straight to funded now. Is don't have to worry about that if I want to go straight to funded. Only issue with straight to funded is most of them are 20% consistency. Did see some news coming out of Top Step last night from Michael Patek. They are going to move, or likely to move, to a one-day pass. So no consistency rule in the evaluation stage, but they will put in 50% consistency in the PA. If they do that, might be interested in having a little flutter over there. I haven't really liked their service for a while. They keep changing. Like everyone they've criticised, they've started copying. So puts me off. I still think TradeFi is the best firm out there by miles. Here we go. So potential bull flag here, trying to hold that buy signal on the flow zones, trying to do that inverse head and shoulders look right now. Very, very risky here, but they're trying to do this here to come and take out this, and this. Maybe they do it into news. They've got 7 minutes left to do it. Maybe they save it for news. Maybe they never get above it. But that's what they're looking to do. Above here, I'm interested in engaging in something. Looking at the book here, seeing if they're going to add liquidity higher. There's a seller at 700, not much above that right now. Range on the day now, just shy of 300 points. Right? Range on the day, just shy of 300 points. They're trying to run out 73s, 700s, and get up to those 800s. I'm interested if and when we're up at 800 in what we then next do, if that makes sense. That will cause me some interest. Chris Sosa sticking with a 15-minute opening range. I've been taking consistent withdrawals from Take Profit Trader. Took my second 2K out yesterday within 2 weeks. Congratulations, mate. Great work. So how do you like to trade that orb? Do you trade it how I teach it? A 1-to-1 kind of ratio. And you look for those breakouts above or below and then hold runners for continuation. ES getting stuck there. VIX getting stuck there. Still just inside here. Everything's inside. Slop, slop, slop. Chop, chop, chop. They've left stops both sides right now. And they've left these guys in. And they've left these guys in. You got 4 minutes until you get that consumer sentiment number. I feel like they want to drift upside here. What's the VIX doing? 42s. Holding flow zone still. We are above the algorithms. We're above the VWAP. Potential for this right now. The seller up at 650 and then 700 at the moment. 650 and then 700. Crazy the size. I'm measuring out candles. I'm just like, I cannot believe the size of these candles. Never seen a market like this. Never, ever, ever. So knocking on the door, probably towards 50s soon. If they break 50s, like I said, there's a 26 lot there. It's not a lot there. And then you should slingshot up to 700, pop those stops. And then maybe we get to the 800s, which is where I'm interested in participating as either a buyer for a breakout pullback or as a seller for a failed breakout. US warned China about retaliation. Yeah, I mean, hilarious, isn't it? Hey, we're imposed tariffs on you, but if you retaliate, I tell you what, we're raised tariffs over 145%. Okay, great. I bet everyone in America is delighted with that, considering almost everything we buy and use is from China. Delighted with that. Can't wait to see them, try and employ people who can't be bothered to work to build, everything we're currently using. This microphone, the mouse, the keyboard, the phone, the camera. It's crazy. I'll bully you, but if you retaliate, I'll tell you what, I'll bully you some more. It is funny. What a funny world we live in. What a funny world. Yeah, I saw a funny post about that yesterday. Actually, it had a "Make America Great" hat, and it said had a tag on it that said "Made in China," and then it said "For sale," and it crossed out $15 and put like $150. It did make me laugh. I was like, yeah, that's the reality of where we're at right now, which is funny. But yeah, that auction the other day really forced his hand. We just have to see now. We have to see. Yeah, look at gold. They keep bidding gold up another 2% today. They will continue to hedge out of the Dixie into the... Look at the Dixie. What did I call for last September? Dixie sub 100. All of this, go back to those streams last September. I said we're going to have some massive fails in this market. Dixie is going to go sub 100. Asia are going to have their way. They've started hedging into gold and they continued. I think back then, like, we've moved gold from like 1,800 through the 2,000, 2,500 break up to 3,240s now. They will continue to hedge. They do not care. It's America that's in debt. You have to remember that. It's America holding the debt right now. 37 trillion debt, probably even more right now, and rising. And they can control that by how they act with the Treasury auctions, which is what they did on, was it Tuesday, which I think is what caused Trump to do the pause. They called his bluff. They were like, all right then, well, let's see what you do with your debt now. There's the fail all the way back down towards the VWAP. We got consumer sentiment coming here, folks. So you got a print about to come. If not coming, let's see if we can see what it is. I haven't even had a look yet. And the chop and slop continues. Morgan Stanley, the forward path of inflation is unsettling. Where's this number? It's all I care about right now. Michigan prelim 56 versus 60. 47, so it's coming cool so far. Michigan sentiment 50 versus 53. So a cooler print there. And like we said, this would have been taken before anything. 1 year inflation preliminary 6.7 versus 5.2. That is not good. That is not a good print on the inflation number. Fed talking as well. Inflation expectations must remain anchored for Fed policy that's responsive of both employment, price, and stability concerns. So again, the chop continues, folks. We haven't taken any liquidity, no external range taken. Mixed signals there. Inflation number printing hot. Consumer sentiment printing cool. Makes sense of that for me. Inflation's going up, but you feel okay about life, do you? I don't. All right, and we're still inside. Look at your value areas. Look at where we've built liquidity the last few days. No, there's nothing to do here, folks, honestly. There's nothing to do here. Market's starting to bleed a bit. Does it find a bid here, or are we going to start washing out on that? Are people spooked by realizing that inflation is hot? Everyone already knows that, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah, I think, Peter, I'd agree. And I think people don't really care about anything anymore other than what are we going to do with these tariffs. The uncertainties in the tariffs. The certainties are we're in 37 trillion plus of debt. The uncertainties are, we have sticky inflation. The certainties are, God, I can't get my words out. Powell will probably do 2 cuts this year. If we're going to price in more than that, we'll do it at the time when it feels right. But right now, that's what we're looking at, a couple of cuts. I think anything else doesn't really matter right now. Market's starting to roll over a bit here. Starting to see some weakness come into the market here. Have they failed to break out there? Is that number enough to shake out this market? Who knows? Back down towards low of days right now. Remember, we left all liquidity. Come on, maybe we get trade back down into here. This is where we found a bid earlier. If they start letting go of these, we might get one of these sort of bouncing ball type scenarios. If they're really going to come and get heavy in the market. If they find a bid here where we did earlier, what we're going to do, we're just going to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And this is everything I'm not interested in, this here. I can see both sides playing out here, and that's not good, is it? When we're looking for edge in the market. Look how the flow zones are flat right now, like we talked about. Lower time frame, deep pullback flow zones, momentum flow zones, previous day close, higher time frame algorithm, New York Open, and the VWAP are all absolutely flat. Someone will get hurt here. Someone will get hurt here. So for holding this sort of trend line, think about this. We're holding roughly something like that at the moment. And we're stuck. There's one also from the highs. Basically building out a giant wedge. And it's getting tighter and tighter. You can see it. And even this, like, look how gross this is. 650 down to 430, 220 points, probably back up 100 points or so now. Maybe Raphael, but statements like that always worry me. I think gets you stuck. That already means you got a bias. What I know is we're in a choppy market producing slop. That's what I know. What I think doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all me, Peter. Oh my gosh. Terrible. My gut says the longer we're here, on a day like today, the longer we're here, the more chance it is of going risk off. I think it's more likely on a Friday you go risk off than risk on. Unless a headline changes something, it's more likely you'd go risk off than risk on in a market like this on a Friday. Who knows what happens over the weekend, but I can easily be wrong and a headline can change it. Did Take Profit recently change their rules for evals? My evals say that I can't let price go below zero. Balance go below zero. No, no, that's not right. Only if it would follow you. So only if you've closed out a few days already, but that's not the case. It's the end of day drawdown. Yes, most prop firms will let you use it, but I'd have to check. Each prop firm's different. Here's a drive all the way back up. So again, look how gross this market is. Then 100-point drive all the way back up. Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyone trading this, you're an absolute psychopath. Absolute psychopath right now. Cannot imagine how or why anyone would want to trade this right now. Look at how disgusting this market is. Leaving liquidity both sides up, we talked about. Constantly leaving liquidity at the moment. Can it pop these stops at the top? Or is it going to go all the way back down again and trap again? Wild. Stuck up there again. Are we going to come all the way back down now? Are you going to come all the way back to VWAP now or something? Jeffrey Dennis, psychopath here. One quick short hit my profit. There you go. Well, good for you, mate. I'm happy for you. Yeah, it's just back and forth and back and forth. It's just building liquidity. Someone's going to get hurt here. I'll sort that out with Traderfire. I'll talk to Brett, see what the deal is there. Are they going to pop these stops here? Still the same levels we talked about earlier. Watch your spread as well. If they do a big move, your spread will open up if you're looking at playing this. You'd like to see at least one side of this get abused here, but like the back and forth. Trapped at 600 all the way down to 450. It can trade all the way back down now to VWAP if it wants to, and then have another attempt to go higher or another attempt to go lower. And I've got no edge in this. Look at the flow zones. Everything's flat. This is not a market telling me, hey, come and play me right now. Like, looking at the market, I would say it should go and wash these stops to the upside. But again, it left all the stops to the downside. Who knows? Market sentiment, probably risk off. So that would tell me to go lower. But can the daily base here? Absolutely. Daily can base here. So I've got no alignment in thesis. So I'm not going to click buttons. Back to VWAP, like we said. Stuck at 600s all the way back to VWAP. You got to laugh. It's just the size of it. It looks tiny. But this is from 435 in like 3 minutes up to 625 and then all the way back to 500. And if this breaks down and traps them, all the way back down to 18,000. So it can lose another 500 points like that. It's absolute insanity. Insanity right now. Back to PDC here on the QQQ. Back to PDC here on the SPY and on the futures as well. We're just at close from yesterday. There's nothing happening here. We're still inside. Louis, yeah, they will. They'll be available very, very soon. Next week, hopefully, they'll be available for the room first. Be available exclusively for Discord. People who have done the course at a discount first, and then we go after that. Exactly, Coop. That's where my head is. I don't even know if I'll give it to lunch, to be honest. I don't want to spend my Fridays looking at this nonsense. Absolute nonsense, mate. So far this morning, you are in a 300-point range, 296.5-point range to be exact. You are inside overnight session. You are inside dailies. You are inside previous TPO. You are right at point of control for the last 2 days. This is where all the volume has been created. The last 2 sessions right here. JD saying this is beautiful for scalping. Well, I mean, if you're a range trader and you can, if this is the type of thing you like, then sure, I can understand. Not for me. Not for me, my friend. I know my strengths. It ain't this. It ain't this. This is the type of thing where I end up headbutting the screen. Maybe it'd be fun live on stream. Back to VWAP. Back to VWAP again. My gut says the longer we're here, though, the harder it's going to be for like traders to sit with it unless it really starts to aggressively move. Just thinking like if I was a hedge fund and stuff, but you know, I'm not. Again, we're leaving liquidity both sides, back, forward, backwards, forwards, backwards and forwards. It's all it's going to do. Holding VWAP inside the wedge. I'm getting ready to get off the screens already. That's how shite this is. Yeah, exactly, Coop. It's true. Oh, let me check my emails here. Zero interest right now. Zip, zero, nada, not interested right now. Back to the upside. Back to the downside. Oh my gosh, look at this. The carnage. His carnage, man. Trend tree. I will have to look at updating these ones. I'll have to look at updating it. Someone's going to get stuck here, man. Wedgie, wedge. What a ball fest. All right, back towards the lows again. Do they find bids here again and go all the way back towards the highs? What's the time? 20 minutes. We've got 10 minutes left until that initial balance is set. Where could they go for lows? They can come and sweep back down if they really want to. And they're just leaving every side here. Don't think they've even, I'm just like trying to look in. They've not even swept an internal once this morning. They've left every internal in play as well. This is going to get really nasty. Someone's going to get really hurt here. And it ain't going to be me. You can see these. They've left, what I'm talking about, they've left, and I draw here, they've left these stops, 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 left these stops. They've left everyone right now. So everyone's either feeling very, very comfortable or very nervous is what I'd say. Best way of me describing it. Thanks, darling. All right, here we go. Are they going to take an internal now? Are they going to protect this internal? Still not taking it. Crazy. That internal, first internal there at 32, still being protected. Still above New York Open. Still on point of control. Lots of volume here. Starting to feel some selling coming into this market. VIX trying to turn around and start to swipe upside now. On the VIX, I mean, starting to swipe upside. I still haven't taken that internal there. Maybe there's a dive down here in towards these lows here if the VIX is going to get going. Here we go. In this very, very small size. Back towards New York Open. Stop already in the money. No, I said I wasn't going to take it, but once I saw that VIX moving, give me a bit more probability. High time frame algo here. You can take a partial here if you need. Then you're looking for that sweep towards the lows. Here we go. Momentum coming into this market now. So can we take out these pivots into 48s? Protection of 400 here so far. Remember, this is where we found buyers this morning. This is that trend line. Like, if you're going to take this, got to be careful. I've already locked some in here. Anything down here is a bonus, and we break under this, we roll over, or we fake breakout and we go back upside. Remember, we're in choppy conditions. See money, take money. We talked about it in Discord earlier this morning. Here we go. Might get that run towards lower days here, if you're lucky. Low of days, I mean low of session. When I'm saying low days, I mean low of session. Here we go. Can we get some expansion? Like I said, I'd be more uncomfortable as a bull the longer we're here. All right, because if they don't get their move, I would not want to be a bull holding in this market right now. The risk, headline risk, is downside moves over the weekend. Here you go, finally coming into those lows. Lovely, locking in some profit here. I'm only trading one account. No way I'm trading them all together right now. So you've washed internal lows. We've into that orange box. Remember? I know I said I wasn't going to take it, but that VIX gave me very good confidence to get this move just down into here. Just timed it with the VIX. Here you go. So maybe we're going to wash this now into 300s. You want to be locking in profit here, folks. At least a decent amount of it. From where I entered that trade, we're almost up. We're up 100 points now already. Make sure you're locking some profits in if you took that. We've swept now, finally swept some internal lows. We've left these. These would be the next point if it's really going to do it. Charts legging. Refresh your stream. I'm only 6 seconds behind. It's the fastest the stream can be. I can't do any more than that. Again, your low-hanging fruit, target one, has been taken pretty much. I'm going to see it push back up here and fail if it's going to continue to go down. Should be runners only here, folks. Looking to see if we break 314s and then 300s. If we break 300s, maybe we get that drive all the way down to 18,000 that we talked about for a runner. That would be very, very nice. Looking more in here. And very, very close here. 314s, 300s. If we break that, I'm going to look to hold a runner all the way down to 18,000. Did we wash that there? We did wash it by a tick, folks. You should have covered a good portion of your profit there. Next move down, 18K. All right, 18,067 if we're going to stay heavy. I have to be so patient for this, but that VIX, give me the confidence. Look at VIX now, 345s. If VIX can continue this breakout now, it's going to go to 47s. We're going to get down into those numbers I wanted. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good work, team. ES now also doing that same move. So make sure if you're trading ES, you should be locking in some profits. You've got 5-day moving average underneath you here as well. Only 4 seconds behind, even better. Yeah, I've got it at the lowest lag it can be. It shouldn't be a lot. And anyway, I talk about potential trades before they happen. I was quick there, but it was the VIX that gave me confidence there more than anything else. A low-hanging fruit taken. You should be runners only. If this trades back inside the range, you can expect more chop. If we start rejecting on this drive up, then maybe we go down for that 18,000. But again, we are still inside the range. If this keeps protecting 250, that's yesterday's value area low. Those are the old highs, all right? If you're wondering what the bloody hell I'm on about, think about this here, all right? We can still protect these. I know yesterday we dunked underneath. Where's my drawing tool gone? This, we can protect it. I know this was a move under, but this can be failure under. This is still has the opportunity to do that. This is your value area low. This is your value area high. This can still chop here. Can still protect. It can still be edge to edge. We said low hanging fruit. Here, we took it. The VIX now will have to base here at 45 for a new leg up on the VIX. If it can't do that, if it trades back downside, we go back into the slop and chop on the ES and the NQ. Right, like we said, low-hanging fruit, been and gone there. Where's that New York Open? 19s. So if they reclaim, is that right, 19s? Yeah, if they reclaim that, you would want to be very, very, very careful. If they build out a bear flag here, you might get that continuation versus those levels. There's a bit of a wick down there with some decent volume. Want to see them run new lows, really. Lack a bit of confidence in this now that we've taken low-hanging fruit. Like I always say, once we take low-hanging fruit, I become far less interested in the trade. But if we can prove itself, if VIX can base, I'm more interested. Come on, market. Are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? Just trading one trader fight account here. Like I said, I'm 1 day away from getting some payouts on Apex. I'm not going to risk it on a day like today. I think there is a chance for this to move lower. There is a chance to come down to that 18,050s, 18,060s. VIX starting to show signs of a possible base on a 5-minute. So if this can be a bear flag versus this, let me draw for the people. Let me draw for the people. If we can stay heavy versus these, all right, then this move down here is possible. Watch your sizing, please. But notice we're starting to move into bear territory now. Again, you have to respect we're at the edges. If you're a range trader, you might be buying this. This is the thing. If you're a range trader based on value, this is value. We're inside value. Range traders will be buying this and selling this. When we break under this, it becomes much easier for like confirmed short. So just remember that. We talked about at the beginning of the day, you're not having multi-time frame traders in alignment right now. See money, take money. Let me draw for the people. Potential bear flag here, though. It's looking good. VIX. If VIX can get going, you look good. You got to be careful with your stops here, because if they drive this back up and they pop basically 380, 400, this can trade all the way back up to basically 500 very, very quickly. $300s here. Not much on the tape. There is not much on the tape here at 300s. So this is that afternoon pullback level in the SPYs. It's the same for Qs and the Qs. That pullback we did yesterday before the close, before the MOC imbalance, that's where we are. Remember that big dump into MOC, and then they pumped it on the MOC last 10 minutes. That's where we're at right now. If you want to understand location, that's our location right now. Battleground here at 300. You can feel it. Major, major, major battleground. Big levels. VIX starting to go now. Can VIX print a new high of day? Major battlegrounds here. You can see it. That afternoon pullback yesterday before the MOC imbalance. Remember, we're still... Technically, we can still be trading edges. I cannot say this enough. Technically, if the market wants to hold this and trade an edge for a rotation, it can go back upside and inside range. It does not have to move lower. It doesn't have to do anything. Here's your initial balance now printed. New traders coming into the market now, playing the IB. So they're trying to protect that. You can see they're trying to protect it. Remember, low-hanging fruit's gone, folks. We talked about it. Low-hanging fruit has gone. These are big moves, man. There's almost a 100-point move there off that IB low. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy range. Remember, if they want to reclaim this and rebalance, they can, like we talked about that. Red line, that New York Open, massive levels over under. VIX now coming back down to 45. Does it hold a bid at 45? If it holds a bid at 45, it has the chance to go to 48s and 50s. If it can't hold a bid and goes inside range, we might squeeze back up here in the market. You are in chop fest. I cannot say it enough. See money, take money environment. This is absolute chop fest right now. Here's your drive up, retesting New York Open. Remember, we're not in a trend. I cannot say it enough. We are not in a trending market. You are edges only, like we said. They can buy this back up like they are now and trade it back inside. It's what you're starting to see. Back into that 400 like we talked about. Big level here. If they trade through this, they're going to go straight to VWAP. If they trade through this, they go straight to VWAP. If they want to wash the highs now, they can. Remember, we've taken the lows. If they want to go to the highs, they can do it. In a rotational market, they are allowed to do it. There's nothing stopping them do it. Not easy conditions, like I talk about all the time. These are not easy conditions. These are not my favorite conditions. These are not favorable conditions. Definitely not favorable for people who like trading pro trend. And if they find sellers here, there is a move opportunity towards those Asia lows. Big if though, isn't it? It's a big if they find sellers here. Here we go. Here's the opening print test. And if they get through this and point of control, VWAP is on. And the slop continues. So this might be my signature that I'm going to leave soon. If this is the market we've got today, these are my least favorite conditions to ever trade. VWAP coming here, I would imagine. And there's nothing on the book. So, like, what's amazing is how much we move off nothing, which is why we move so much. But there's just no one at home right now. What a shit market the last 2 days. Even this week, really. What a shit market. And Trump has literally destroyed this market. Current range on this initial balance is 371 points. Just get that around your head. In an inside bar, 371 point initial balance, not on an outside bar. It is mind-blowing when you understand technicals. It is mind-blowing what is done to this market. It is absolutely destroyed it. Hedge funds must be screwing right now. Imagine all the hedge funds who got margined out, who were long, who then flipped short and then got margined out again on that pump, who then got long, who got margined out again on that dump. They must be screwing right now. You, yeah, control your risk against what? How can you hedge to control risk against the size of the moves, JD, which are unprecedented moves? You can't. You can't hedge against that. It's impossible. It's too much. Like the volatility that's coming is too much. It's way, way too much. They're hedge funds. They can't size down. They're not retail. I don't think you understand. They make your money, your interest in your bank. That's their job to make. They can't just size down. So all the way back up, like we say, if it reclaims, all the way back up to VWAP, it's going to do it. And if it can get through that, it can go all the way back up to the highs and go and rinse all those people who have their stops at the highs now. JD, you do understand that they've been positioned for years and months, right? They're not playing intraday. You understand that, right? They can't just size down to 1/5 of the size. It doesn't work like that. They're not like us playing the tape light in seconds. They're playing with millions and billions of dollars. All right. So back upside we go. In towards VWAP, in towards those flow zones. And we have to see what they do now. Do they get stuck here again? They also don't make decisions. Right? Hedge funds are told like what to do. Like you have a position, you have to do this much size. We want an average price of this. You know, that's all kind of out the window for them right now. It's crazy. So where's VWAP right now? Right, sitting at PDC. Right with that uptrend. Everything's sort of around up here. They will need to fail this for rotation back down. If they reclaim this, they're going to go all the way back up again. Not really. I'd rather just wait, FC Mike. I'll just wait for NAS to calm down. It will go back to normal. It won't be like this forever. It will go back to normal. ES rejecting PDC and VWAP there. SPY rejecting PDC there. VIX with a big swipe down, now trying to drive back up. It had an imbalance on that move down. It's kind of wild to see that intraday on the VIX. Like literally left a gap on a 5-minute chart from 44s down to 43s. That's how thin this market is right now. We're leaving gaps intraday. Volume imbalances intraday. Never seen that before. Yeah, exactly. ES is also doing like insane size moves on the day. Someone was talking about it the other day. Every 10 minutes, we're doing a 1% move this week. Every 10 minutes, roughly every 10 minutes, the market's doing a 1% move. Just completely nuts, isn't it? It's completely nuts. Think about that. The market trying to retest VWAP like we talked about. If they go and reclaim this, we go screaming to the upside. They fail this, maybe we go and test that low of day or low of New York. If we get outside the initial balance low, maybe we go down to those Asia lows at 18,000. and 70 odd. So if they protect this, the next trade would be here and under here. If they reclaim this, they're going to use this liquidity. You can see how both things are available. It's because we're inside. This is just everything I hate. Everything I absolutely hate. Market mixed bag as well. Tesla over 2% down. Nvidia 1.38% up. Meta 2.15% down. Google 1.36% up. Amazon just under 1% down. Microsoft 0.17% up. Apple just under 1% up. Complete mixed bag. Market does not know what it wants to do. These hedge funds and the banks have no idea what to do right now. They're completely baffled, right? And it's considered fair value. Like we talked about at the beginning, this is fair value because we're printing inside bars. It's not fair value. This is not fair value. This is just complete, no one knows what to do. That's a better way of putting it than fair value. I don't think this is a balanced range based on fair value. This is, we don't have a clue how we need to act here. Do we get long or do we get short? Are we making new lows? Is he actually cancelling tariffs? What are we doing with China? Like, these uncertainties in the market cause major, major headaches for these firms. Major headaches. What we're dealing with is absolutely nothing compared to what they're dealing with when they come to work each day. Absolutely nothing. Aga, just don't think about that. Don't think about trying to pass an eval on a day like today, because if you force your way trying to pass an eval today, it's way more likely that you're going to blow up than pass an eval on a day like today. Way more likely. Peter, I'm calling it a day. See you all next week. Nice. Go and relax from the crazy markets. Exactly. Catch you next week, mate. We never got outside the range. We got one trade and that was it. Look at that. All the way back to VWAP. So if you don't understand, this has just moved 200 points off the lows. That move off the lows is 200 points. It's not a joke. It is a serious, serious move. Wow. It's just hard to mentally sit here and watch this happen. I cannot imagine these funds who have thousands or tens of thousands of contracts on the line. Like, they must be exhausted. I am tired, and all I do is teach you lot. Imagine having, like, the swings in your portfolio must be billions right now. Literally billions right now. Exhausting for them. Poor people. Poor people. Algos won't be able to even handle this, though. The algos won't be able to handle this either. Algos can't get out if the slippage is too much, if the spread's too big, you know? Like, what's an algo going to do? Absolute bugger all. Like, higher time frame algos need liquidity on the book and tight spreads. Right now, we don't have that. It's one of the big problems. Decision time for this market. Dump or pump, I would say. Keeps pushing and finding sellers up there in front of VWAP. Can't get through PDC right now. Can't get through VWAP right now. Can't get through PDC. It's erratic, the way these candles are moving. Average ATR on the day, a cool 79 points. I mean, who's trading this? Who is trading this if you've got that? 79 points in an inside day. Average M1. It's not like we're expanding range. We're inside range. Nice, Alan. Yeah. Nice cigar for the weekend. Good for you. Like we said, all right, so now they're going to go and ruin everyone to the upside. So they did their job. They ran all these guys out. Now they're going to come and try and Hurt all these people, probably. That's probably the sentiment now. I would imagine, anyway. Oh, Dre, I don't know. Trading on a 2,000 tick chart. Your 2,000 ticks are going to be done like this. So, I don't know. I just think it's in a market like this, it's just best to not trade. It's just best to not trade in a market like this. We caught one trade for that move down for the low-hanging fruit. Since then, this market's just been on absolute crack. CC, why do people prefer trading options with their own capital over day trading futures? Probably because they can see an astronomical growth. If you're playing a 0 DTE, like the other day, if you caught those calls on Wednesday, some people were up 2,500% on those. So that's why. It's just because the growth is massive. Millions being wiped out of poor people's portfolios. Yeah, exactly. But like, it's true. People don't understand. They're like, oh, it's the rich losing money. No, it's you folks as well. Your pensions, everything that you invest in, where you want to get those 5% a year, that's getting wiped out. These lot are going to have to work harder for it. Your money doesn't come from nowhere. People have to create that interest, that 5% when you put it into a savings account. That comes from them using your money as leverage. Yeah, AJ, I would say, yeah, 2 to 4. The new 4-hour candle. I'd focus on that new 4-hour candle probably at 2 o'clock. Sorry to hear that, Govindi. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Take care, my friend. Trade safe. So VIX back inside range. The whole market's inside range right now, folks. There's not a lot you can do with this right now other than sit and watch. Like I said, we had that one easy, well, it wasn't even easy, but one trade down towards the low-hanging fruit. We're probably now going to go all the way back upside, run everybody out who was short. We said we protected all their stops. All these people up here are likely to get taken out of this market now. And it would just keep doing it until it's decided it's made enough money, or until it can pick a direction, kind of thing. It'll probably just keep doing it. And these guys here have been protected, same as these guys earlier. You can't really be thinking about anything until they get taken out. I just don't think, honestly, I said to you earlier today, it's probably best to sit on the sidelines today. It's probably best to just sit on sidelines. No way I'm risking my PA accounts, which are close to payout, 1 day or so away from payout. There's no way. Back in the day, these are the kind of markets which would definitely get me caught in. Definitely. Flow zone still flat. Look at everything. Still flat. Still bunched up. Look how bunched up everything is. Every time you see stuff bunched up like that, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Morning, John. So back towards VWAP here and PDC. Does it hold this now for the move up to run all those stops out? You got a mixed bag on the Mag 7. We've got an inside bar on the daily. We've inside value area high, value area low from the last 2 days, from today and yesterday. You're sitting right at point of control, right at VWAP, right at everything. Not a lot you can do here. Made your money on Asia London last night and this morning, so on a long weekend day. Lovely, mate. I think those were probably the best moves from what I've seen. Probably much, much cleaner. And some better sort of trend set up in Asia and London. Fade down, bid back up, fade down. This here is really nice. Good range, nice and clean. Look how clean this is. Sell into a buy, into a buy, into a sell. Then this, no good. No good. So stuck right now between the New York Open and VWAP. Aids, stay safe. Took the short and the long. Up 4,445. Nice, dude. So you got short this one here. And then this. Or were you short this into this? First one or second one? Okay, it's just dancing on POC and VWAP and everything right now. First one and long. Oh, very nice. Very nice aid. All right, so do they sell this back down now? That's the question. Are they going to let go of the New York Open, or are they going to find a bid here to put in a higher low to go and run everyone out, or are they done and they want to rotate? I have no idea here, folks. Like I said, we are literally midpoint of everything right now. Sat right at the last 2 days or two New York sessions point of control. We're right at the open. Again, please watch your ATR. These moves, again, that's in the last 3 minutes or so. There's a 100-point move off that high. It's like, it is not a joke right now. VIX finding a swipe up, filling that gap, that imbalance, which came out of absolute nowhere. I'm going to give this like 5 more minutes, folks. I don't think I'm going to stay here for the last hour because I don't see conditions changing. And the least time I can spend watching this, the better. Unless something changes into this new hourly bar. Maybe I'll give it 5-10 minutes after the new hourly bar. What a bore. Mad. VIX now close that gap. Yeah, I don't know about that, Ryan, because you can argue this way. And these are the guys who haven't been taken out. My argument would be we've taken these guys out. The next thing it would want to do, if we're in a rotation day, IB, VWAP, IB, we take out these people. But yeah, your location's crap. Just everything today is crap. Honestly, it's a better day to just leave it alone right now and set price alerts above here, maybe below here, and yeah, just that, below here and above here. Otherwise, these are conditions to hurt. It's exactly what these conditions are. How can we hurt people? That's what they're doing. That's why I will not trade my PA accounts today. There's no way I'm letting this market take any money from me. No way. I think we got the only half decent trade today when VIX actually gave some direction for a minute. Right now, we're just stuck. Mag 7 mixed bag. Everything's stuck at VWAP. We've not really done much away from VWAP. If you think about today, like we've really done very little. We've done good range, 371 point range, like wild range, but the actual moves itself, they've done very little. Yeah, that's fine, Ryan. Good that you didn't chase, mate. Really good you didn't chase. Back down to New York Open again here. VIX trying to get going here. Basically near its high of day on the VIX. Question is, can it break out 45.50s basically on the VIX? Can VIX break out 45.50s? Are we going to go low of day, or is this market looking to come and take out all the guys around the IB high? Yeah, new H1, 30 seconds. I'll give it 5-10 minutes after that. Otherwise, I'm out of it. Live to trade another day, like I always say. Here's your new H1, all the way to POC. Look at that. Good luck sitting through that, folks. So new M1 candle there. Multiple hundreds of points already. Good luck. And there's no one on the book. There's literally no one on the book today. Crazy, man. Yeah, just shy of 200-point candle, that. It's crazy. All the way up to value area high on the session. Found sellers there. No worries, Thumper. Like you can see, I'm super disengaged in this market. I'm not interested in this market. I know this market is just going to take money from people. I'm not interested in being one of the people. Really not. What a swipe up. Yeah, it's gross, BU. Totally gross, isn't it? I'm so disinterested. I'm like now looking at my emails and stuff. Like this, how much I don't care about this market right now. Part of me is like, are they going to just suddenly let this drop now after all of that, like back and forth? Very hard to think about them doing that, but VIX approaching high of day. Back towards where we found bids from this morning, still inside range. Nothing has changed. Sentiment remains the same. Mixed bag still. Finding bid off that little block that I've had at the start of the session near the lows. No, it's just a new H1. Just H1 traders coming into the market. People trade H1 bars that we talk about. No one cares about your little 1 minute bars. No one cares. None of the big firms are looking at that. They don't give two Fs about your little 1 minute bar. All right. They're trading too much size. They're trading on bigger time frames. Drifting back down to where we found bids from earlier. Drifting back down towards the low of day right now. This is exactly where we found bids from earlier, where we are right now. So do they save this and go all the way back upside? They can if they want. Like we keep talking about, these lot can do whatever they want. They are playing games right now with this market. You have a Fed member talking as well right now. Look how whippy these little 1 minute candles are. It's crazy. VIX new high of day here. NQ nowhere near low of day. ES not near low of day, still protecting it. You've got divergence here in the market between them all. Like I said, I'll stay here for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm completely uninterested. This really needs to break down and go towards lows right here, right now, for this market to have like any sort of follow through, given what the VIX is doing. We're at support that it had from earlier in the day. If it's going to let go, it's got to do it here because the VIX is breaking out to the upside. If the market does not break down, you will have divergence on the tape. It would do something disgusting. Exactly. The VIX is breaking down. Breaking out, sorry, to the upside. You would want this market to break down while the VIX is breaking to the upside. 46 is incoming on the VIX. Market's still holding on for now. Crazy. Crazy that it's able to hold on here at all with what's going on right now. Look at this, and trying to upturn here on the market. They are protecting these lows here. There you go. There are the games. There are the games in the market. This should be rolling over right now, and it isn't. That is everything you need to know. That is everything you need to know about trading shit conditions. If you're going to trade these, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get hurt. It was my best week until today, over trading. What's your advice to let my habits? I'm not sure what you mean by let my habits, but if you've overtraded, you just need to journal that. Why did you overtrade? Why are you trading this at all? I've been on stream all day saying this is horrible conditions. What was your setup today? Ask yourself, was there a setup here you really wanted to take in this market? Because chances are you just click buttons. Yeah, exactly, Coop. 0 trades. It's not worth it. This is just, honestly, this is how you destroy your accounts. I can't say it enough. I've been in Discord saying it. I started off the morning saying it. To hear someone in chat saying that they've overtraded it, it actually hurts me because all I've done is tell you, don't trade it. Don't trade it. Don't trade it. There's nothing in here. It really frustrates me to hear that. Like, I'm upset for you because all I've done all day is say, we're an inside bar on the daily. We're inside on the Asia-London session. We're 2 days consolidation on the VPO. There is no trade here that you can take with confidence. None. Absolutely none. The only one was the trade that we took to do what? To take the internal lows. The only trade was this here to take this out and this out. There's been nothing else. And like I always say, once low-hanging fruit's gone, I'm not interested. Okay, you have to be honest with yourself. All of you have been clicking buttons today or forcing your way in and out of this market have to be honest with yourself. Was there a trade in front of you here? Was there a trade that fits your strategy? If there was, fine, no problem. If there's a trade that fits your strategy. Otherwise, what the flipping heck are you doing pushing buttons? What are you doing? Look, what are you doing trading this crap? This is not breaking out. This is not offering a pullback. This hasn't done this move we talked about or this move. This is doing this shit. This is exactly what we said not to touch. All right. So if you are one of the ones that got hurt, you've got to be honest with yourself. In your journaling, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to write down, I clicked buttons when I shouldn't have. I added into losers when I shouldn't have. I didn't analyze the risk parameters in front of me. I over leveraged. I over risked. Whatever it is, that's what you're going to have to write down. And you're going to have to fix it, because if I can't convince you to not take a trade, then there's not a lot I can do. You know, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. It hurts me to say that because I want you lot to be profitable, but we hit profits most days this week. Here are my apex. Here are my PAs. Flat. Zero on it. All right? Like I said, I'm not risking. There's no way I'm risking these. No way. No way in this market I'm risking these. You want to get your dick whipped for 180 point M1 candle? I'm all right, thanks. I'm all right. Even with one micro there, you're going to give up $400? No way, man. That's how you've got to think about it. No way. You need to be gambling in this market when you're sitting on pocket aces. Right now, we're sitting on a 3-5. That's it. That's what we're sitting with at the poker table right now. A 3-5. Right? And the rest of the market, they're also sitting on 3-5s. There's no one sitting on aces right now. Maybe Trump. Maybe Trump's sitting on an ace because he bought calls at the lows and then went, oh, we're going to do a pause. Maybe he's sitting on an ace, but no one else is sitting on pocket aces, pocket kings, queens, jacks, even 10s, 9, 8s. No one. We're sitting on 3-5s. What do you do when you get 3-5s? You throw them away, don't you? You throw them away. Even if you're big blind, you throw them away. You're like, nope, this is bollocks. I'm not trading this. I'm not playing this hand. That's how you need to think about it. Where's your edge in the market? It's not here. It is definitely not here. Even if this is an IB rotation day, we said down here, there's a good chance they save this. All right, you got to VWAP. All right, you might go back to here. The trade will come outside of these, not inside this. All right, go back to the beginning of this video, pre-market. We talked about this. I was so clear. Expect chop. It was the first thing I said in Discord today. It's like, expect the choppy market. There's absolutely nothing here enticing me. I even said it last night. Nothing here. Yeah, Lyndall, don't get dick whipped. Yeah. Trentry almost blew my account last week, and I journal where I messed up and where I didn't mess up. And that was doing that trading time. Yeah. So Johannes, you just go back and have a look. What did you do in Asia? Because Asia offered a trend. So either you oversized, over leveraged, or you went against the trend. Those are probably one of the two things that you did. All right, those are probably one of the two things that you did. All right, team. I'm out of here. No way you get me trading this crap. I am well out of here. And we'll be back Monday. All right, we'll be back Monday and we'll go again Monday. Those in Discord, give me a little bit of time to try and get this, find a way of getting this indicator sorted for you, for Ninja. And we'll go again Monday. Big love, everybody. Please trade safe. Please use hard stops. Please stop oversizing. Stop pushing buttons for no reason. All right, let the trade set up. Let them come to you. And we'll be back Monday and we'll go again. Peace and love as always. Have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you get off the screens. Catch you later.